I'm in my office today and we're gonna start to respond to some crazy videos. So let's get into it and I'll give you my take on it and we'll see how we can help these people or just for some information or amusement, right? So let's jump into the first video I got.
Hi, I'm Nico. I'm 29 and live alone in a 2021 Tesla Model Y.
I actually seen this guy on the news talking about his layoff. So great one to start. Let's see what he's talking about.
Traveling across the US. In April 2024, I got laid off from Tesla after working there for 5 years. I posted my layoff experience on LinkedIn and it got 7 million impressions. And
I've actually seen his layoff story and it's absolutely crazy. Nico, if you're seeing this, shoot me an email. I'd love to go live with you and talk about this because so many people have been in the same spot where they got laid off, and how they got laid off was actually they went to work and their badge didn't work. So this is absolutely crazy. And yeah, I'm just like, oh my gosh, no, let's not have that happen. So let's keep listening.
actually ended up being on the news. After that, I uploaded my Tesla layoff experience video on YouTube and that got
I
800,000
saw that, made the news.
views. I then quit my job as a store manager at GNC to do YouTube full time. Sold my 1.2 million.
So for reference, if a video gets about 800,000 views, I don't know how long it was, but for my channel, if I get 150,000 views a month, that is like a few $100s. So he must have made like 2 grand maybe from this. If it was 20 minutes long, if it was only 10 minutes, he probably made a few $100.
$1 lakeside home in May and started to live in my Tesla to reduce expenses. When I was working at GNC, I realized how stuck I was physically at a job.
Not everybody is that fortunate that they can just sell their house and do YouTube full time because YouTube pay is not that great unless you have super recurring viewers like you guys. It's really hard to do anything on YouTube. It's more a hobby than actually a money maker at the beginning. You need to invest 5 years and then you'll start reaping the benefits.
You could now say I'm kind of like a digital nomad, getting paid to upload YouTube videos.
He's not the only one that's living in his Tesla. There's so many people, and it even has a campfire mode, so it will heat you because I did have a Tesla. But living in a car is absolutely rough. If you have to do it, he chose to do it, so it might be easier, and he still has some money from the house sale. So yeah, let's see what else he's saying.
Not paying rent, gas, water, garbage. I keep my expenses low so I can save money for my future self. Can't wait to show you guys.
So me and Ali, funny enough, tried to do that digital nomad thing, and we got a huge RV, and I got a first a 26 footer with a Jeep Grand Cherokee. Had that for a little while. Noticed that it's too small to live in and actually work from. So then we've upgraded to a 43 footer, just like this, with a nice truck to kind of go around and work remote. But one problem that we were keep facing is the internet wasn't as good as it needed to be compared to your home Wi-Fi internet. And then, so we just couldn't quite do it. And it allowed you to only travel on weekends. And, you're working during the day. So you'd have to travel during weekends. And during the weekdays, you were basically working 9 to 5. And that works great if you're constant internet. I know Starlink got a lot better. That was about 5 years ago after Starlink first came out. So there were a lot of outages and not and service areas that didn't have adequate Wi-Fi or Starlink connections. So maybe it's better now, but
Can't wait to show you guys more of my travels across the US. Thanks for being here.
that is key in any situation. You always, regardless of where you're at, try to keep expenses low so you can have positive money to invest and hopefully compound interest will pay you a lot of money. So I also noticed that he didn't mention kids or wife or a life partner or something else or dog. I don't know if he has one or not, but it didn't seem from this video. So it's really easy to just root yourself up and do travel and do all these kind of things while you're single or you're with a partner. Once you have kids, you're kind of bound to an area because of homeschooling. And I don't think they would appreciate living in a Tesla. And it looked like he has one sleeping pad in his Tesla, so probably only one person. And you can really travel when you're one person because you can save money and basically live better. But once there's more financial strain with families, you can't just sell your house and move to another area. You need to find another job. So let's look at another one.
Just a friendly word of caution. If your company out of the blue asks you to fill out a spreadsheet identifying what skills and competencies you have,
Uh-oh. I know where this is going, and it ain't pretty.
or they ask you to list out all the projects you're working on, or
Absolutely crazy. You gotta be hyper alert when something like that happens. This is a earth-shattering type of scenario.
they ask you to walk through a typical day, or if they ask you to submit a resume so that they can assess what your skills and background are, or if you meet with an HR person or a senior leader and they discuss your workload or your career aspirations.
Ooh, these are all fighting words in the corporate world.
What they're doing is they're building their layoff list and they're determining whether or not you're going to be on it. If this is the case, update your resume immediately.
So regardless of what's going on in the company, if they start doing that, you need to be already prepped. You should have never let it come to that spot where you need to update your resume. You should always constantly work towards your next position and constantly keep the resume updated. And I know that a lot of people are not really worried about it too much because, you get into this rhythm, you get into life habits, and so you're not too worried about it. But man, once stuff like that happens, you're snapped back to reality real quick. So be proactive and not react.
After everything that it took to earn this opportunity, I will never take employment for granted. But it all worked out because I love
In 2008, 2009, I remember people telling me that, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky to be employed. I'm so blessed. And they prayed for jobs. And now we're just kind of seeing the same thing with all these people being let go and can't find jobs. I've just talked to somebody that's been job searching for a year and he hasn't been able to find one. Absolutely crazy. So I don't think you need to be super appreciative for your job. You just need to show them how much you can make him. And if you can either save them a lot of money or make a company a lot of money, then they will hire you because it's a no-brainer.
my leader's leader. Um, and it all happened for the greater good.
So it seems like she moved on. And that's what everybody should kind of do, kind of move on, find another job, and move into the right direction. So if I was job searching right now, I would actually look at a 5 year, 10-year plan and see where I want to be and kind of back engineer it with help of AI or other tools and kind of figure out where do I need to be, what kind of jumps do I need, what kind of skills do I need, and start working on that to kind of play strategic and try to play chess, not checkers in the corporate world because you play for stakes.
Beyond anything I understood in that moment of the job search. But I'm here.
And that is also something I'm trying to tell you guys. If you're getting laid off, right now might be the worst part of it. I think looking back, it was always going to be, it wasn't too bad, wasn't too bad. But while you're in it, same thing with me in the military was when I served in Switzerland. It was the worst thing ever. Now looking back, it wasn't so bad after all. And I kind of reflect on it in a more positive way. And I really encourage you to also do that and just look at it from a perspective where, hey, this is really effed up, but hey, brighter stuff is in the future, so let's keep moving along. Another thing I want to add is always try to move up. When you're at a job, I have a good friend of mine that always had his next opportunity kind of already planned. And now I would actually say make a plan of where you're going to go because once you're hired, you now have the right to 2 years jump, get a pay increase, and move up the ladder. So day 25, looking like she's doing pretty good. I don't know how long it took her for find a job, but kudos and keep the positivity up. If you're in a job search right now, you at one point will also make a video like this or say, hey, I'm 25 days at my job. So just keep at it. Stuff will come to you. You just need to attract it. And one thing I noticed is that with a lot of people, you need to be in sales. I cannot stress this enough. When you're in an interview, you need to sell. You need to sell yourself. You need to make it a no-brainer so a company would hire you. When I was hiring, I made mistakes where I looked at cultural fits, but I should have actually, in times like this, should have looked at how can they increase my bottom line so the company stays profitable? Because right now, every company is doing layoffs because they need to increase their bottom lines. And I get that cultural fit is absolutely a must, but right now, the quarterly numbers need to add up, and you are just going to change your skill sets to kind of reflect that and just put that on paper because you have it. You just need to point it out.
The mother of all layoffs has arrived. The term operational efficiency is being recorded in public transcripts from corporate
Oh
companies.
gosh, I actually took inspiration from some of this guy's content. It's absolutely great. And when you look at his tweet, what he's pointing out is the word operation efficiency. And that can mean two words: increase sales or fire people. And what do you think is going to happen? Are they going to increase sales, or are they just going to let people go, or are they going to do both?
It's amazing that anybody on Main Street knows or instinctually feels this, but the people running this country,
Yeah, I know. And they need to have the quarterly numbers to actually show that. So it is absolutely crazy what all these people are going through because the quarterly numbers need to fit.
people running this country are still trying to crack the case.
So I
Makes you
actually
wonder.
know why. When you are in an area or in an environment where everybody is filthy rich and everybody has everything catered to them, do you think that they're going to experience the real economy? No, they're not. They're not going to see anything because they don't have friends that have been let go. They don't have friends that have to file for unemployment. If you're 15, 20, 30, 40 million, $100 million heavy in net worth, then you're not going to go to the unemployment and file unemployment when they let you go. No. Once your term is up, once you have to step down from that director role or that vice president role from that company, you're gonna do what most people do. You're gonna buy a yacht, buy a house in the Hamptons or in the Keys, and you're gonna go boating and you're gonna do crazy parties and you're just gonna travel the world like they all do. And when you look at that, then you're gonna be thinking to yourself, huh, all my friends are also doing this, so the economy must be great because we're buying all these houses, traveling all over the world, and my neighbors are doing the same thing. So they're not living in reality. So these were some of these absolutely crazy TikTok videos and short form videos I've seen. Let me know if I should do these some more. But to kind of sum it all up, what these videos were about is that regardless of the situation you're in today, it doesn't mean that it's going to be definite, that that is a thing that you've caused. You cannot let all this stuff, all this negativity impact you. You need to ground yourself. You need to figure out what does you know what blah, blah. You need to figure out what's really motivates you and work on it. And I know the job hunt is going to take you quite some time and it is brutal, but you can do it and I believe in you and so should you. And just because you had 100 applications sent out and you haven't gotten it, just push through it and send out another 150 and see what's going to happen. And some people say, "Oh, I already sent the 100." Well, did you improve one thing after another to try to make that each application a little bit better than the last one? Or did you just mass apply with an AI tool and just send out like 200 resumes and hoping that one of them will get you back? So this is what I also do in my videos. I try to always improve one thing each video that I do and send out into the universe. So each video I'm trying to better myself. First, when I started off, I tried to use so less. Now somebody pointed out that you say you know a lot. So now I try to say it less and edit it out more, but I really try to say it less and I'm hoping it's working. You guys let me know, but I'm constantly trying to improve my content, trying to improve my company that I'm working on, and improve my sales techniques and sales of persuasion. So when I meet people, it's more easier for me to introduce myself, to sell them my Airbnb, to be a contractor or, work for me or do something else. I need to be persuasive. And the key of selling is a key skill that anybody in the world should actually master. Because if you're a master salesperson, even Shark Tank investor, what's his name? The billionaire. Oh, even Mark Cuban actually says sales cure everything. If you can make a company money as a sales rep, you will always have a job. But if you are a sales rep and can't perform, you're out the door. And so take that into consideration. Try to master sales, read some books about it, and let me know what kind of sales books you're reading. I'm super interested to see what you guys are learning and improving. And I got one more for you guys, so let's listen to this one.
If you've recently been laid off, here are the first 3 things that you should do. The first, if you have the luxury to do this, I know not everyone does, but even if it's a long weekend, take a little bit of time off to just clear your head. You don't want to be going through the job search process in an emotional state where you feel panicky, desperate, or just really emotionally hurt or vulnerable. So take some time. The more, the better. I would say somewhere between 1 to 2 weeks is ideal. If you can't take more than that or you can't take that much, that's fine. The second thing you want to do is reevaluate where you're at in your career. Do you want to get the exact same job that you had before? Do you want to pivot into something else? Do you have the right skills to do?
One thing I've noticed is that he should have actually said in this, file for unemployment. It is your absolute right. While you're taking some time to reevaluate what's next for you, do not hesitate. File for unemployment. It's your right. And once the numbers go up in employment, the Fed needs to react. Because if you're not filing for unemployment and you and tens of thousands of other people also think the same way, the Fed is saying, well, the labor market's strong, but everybody's struggling. So file for unemployment.
That, or do you need to spend some time skill building? And the third thing is use your network. I know it can sometimes feel scary or even embarrassing to be in a situation where you're looking for work, but just own it.
Skill building, you do that at the job. So this is absolutely crazy that he's like trying to do skill building, trying to go back to college or something like it. Don't do that. Get another job. You should have had the next 5 years with your job kind of visually memorized or just memorized and follow those directions that you've put out, because if you have everything laid out or said this is where I need to be, then it's very easy for you to take that next step.
Reach out to friends, family, your LinkedIn network, former colleagues, anyone in your network that you feel like could help you put you in a position to be successful. And most jobs and most quick jobs come from a referral system from people that already know folks in the industry. So work your network and utilize that to your advantage.
Okay, so he's absolutely right. You should utilize your network. Now, the only question is, have you fed and fostered your network? Because everybody's keeps saying, you got to network, you got to do things. Once you're being let go and you have 100 messages on LinkedIn, people try to network with you, then you can't come out and say, hey, yeah, let's network, let's jump on a coffee chat. And now you're trying to make up for lost time and try to feed your network while you don't have the job anymore. So take this as a learning lesson and take this as some word of advice. Always network and jump on a call with somebody, even if it's a competitor, because you never know if that competitor is going to be your next job or your next employer. So take this all with a grain of salt. I appreciate you guys for sending me these videos. If you want to send me one, just do that in the about section of my profile. If you like this series, I'll keep them going. And let me know what you guys think about all these videos. Did I pick the right one? Did I pick the wrong one? Stay strong. You got this. Stay positive, and I will see you in the next one.